Nobody can really come to me unless it is granted to him by my Father. You may go, you who find it difficult to remain here, because you are ashamed from a human point of view to leave me. But you are more ashamed to stay at the service of one who seems mad and hard to you. Go. It is better for you to be far away than to be here and do harm. Many of the disciples withdraw. Among them there is John the scribe, Marcus, the possessed Gerasene, who was cured by Jesus, and the devils possessing him were sent into pigs. The good disciples consult with one another and run after their faithless companions, endeavouring to stop them. In the synagogue, there is only Jesus, with the chief of the synagogue and the apostles. Jesus turns towards the 12 apostles, who are deeply humiliated and are standing in a corner, and says to them, "Do you want to go as well?" He says so without bitterness and without sadness, but very seriously. Peter replies with sorrowful transport, "Lord, where can we go? To whom? You are our life and our love. You alone have words of eternal life. We know that you are the Christ, the Son of God. If you wish, send us away, but we will not leave you of our own free will, not even if you should not love us any more." And Peter sheds large tears silently. Andrew, John, Alphaeus' 2 sons also weep openly, and the others, who are either pale or flushed through emotion, do not weep, but are clearly suffering. "Why should I send you away? Did I not choose you 12? Jairus has wisely withdrawn to leave Jesus free to console or reproach his apostles. Jesus, who has noticed his silent withdrawal, sits down. He is tired, disgusted, grieved and depressed, as if the revelation he is about to make cost him a greater effort than he can possibly bear. And he says, "And yet, one of you is a demon." His words drop slowly, frighteningly in the synagogue, where only the light of the lamps seem to be cheerful, and no one dare speak. They look at one another with fearful disgust and painful inquisitiveness, and each one examines himself with even greater anguish and uncertainty. No one moves for a while, and Jesus remains alone on his seat, with his hands crossed on his knees and lowered face. He at last looks up and says, "Come, I'm not a leper, or do you think I am?" John then rushes forward, and throwing his arms round Jesus' neck, he says, "I will be with you then, my only love, in your leprosy. I will be with you in your conviction, in your death, if that is what you think is awaiting you." And Peter creeps at his feet, takes them in his hands, and laying them on his shoulders, he says, sobbing, "Press them here, tread on me, but do not make me think that you do not trust your Simon." When the others see that Jesus is caressing the first 2, they come forward and kiss Jesus' clothes, his hands and hair. Only the Iscariot dares to kiss him on his cheek. Jesus springs to his feet, and his movement is so sudden that he seems to be repelling him rudely, and he says, "Let us go home. Tomorrow night we will leave for Hippo by boat."